It's 60 minutes to 9. It's a row that's traditionally been played out in the west of Scotland. But in Aberdeen, the pros and cons of a state-run Catholic secondary education are being considered by councillors. There are currently 3 Catholic primary schools in the local authority, but as yet no secondary school. And campaigners are hoping to change that, but it has so far proved divisive. Elizabeth Spencer has led the calls for the council to change its tune, and Megan Manson is head of campaigns at the National Secular Society, and they want the council to continue with its current offering. Good morning to both of you.
Hi, good morning, Graham. Thanks for having me here.
Graham.
So, Elizabeth, first of all, just give us a bit of your background here and what's prompted you to campaign for this.
I worked as a community researcher in Aberdeen for nearly 2 years, researching prejudice and solidarity. And while doing the interviews and focus groups, a lot of them are religious minorities and ethnic minorities. So they did come across issues with prejudice while in state schools because of their faith. I found a gap. Also, my daughter studies in a primary school, Catholic primary school. So I felt there is a need for secondary Catholic, but I don't understand why there isn't one, because all the other cities in Aberdeen has it, but Aberdeen has 19,000 Catholics and, other faith groups. It's not Catholic versus, state. It's actually faith groups versus the state schools. So I'm speaking for not just the Catholics in Aberdeen. It's also ethnic minorities and religious minorities of Aberdeen. And this started off the petition. So the petition has Muslims, Hindus, Catholics, Christians, Church of Scotland, everyone signed and asked for it, a continuation of the primary school, primary Catholic school, and to get the first secondary academy in Aberdeen.
Yeah,
so
Megan,
that's the background.
Megan, even if you're not in favour of faith schools, the fact that Aberdeen has Catholic primary schools, does it not seem a bit odd that they can't continue their Catholic education into secondary school?
Well, I just think that opening a new Catholic secondary school will be a step backward. The direction that Scotland is going in is towards irreligiosity and greater religious diversity. The latest census revealed that. Aberdeen in particular is one of the most diverse cities in Scotland. And the census showed that the majority of people in Scotland have no religion at all, whilst meanwhile, the number of Catholics and other Christians has declined. So what Scotland and Aberdeen really need to be prioritising is bringing these diverse communities together and making sure that children from all religion and belief backgrounds are educated together.
But isn't Elizabeth's point that Catholic schools are quite diverse? They include many different faiths, and a lot of Muslim families send their kids to Catholic schools.
Well, I question how inclusive they can really be, because Catholic schools are under the control of the Catholic Church. They're daily routine.
I'm sorry. I have to correct you there. It's not under the. That's outdated view. It is. We do go through the curriculum of excellence in Scotland, and we have to adhere to that. The only limitations is we do have prayers, and people with faith feel safe to discuss about, their faith in Catholic schools. And Catholic is the majority amongst the other religions. And we do already have 3 Catholic primary schools. That's the only basis of it. And we do have other faiths like Muslims, who are 6,300 Hindus. And of course, Church of Scotland, historically, there was sectarianism, but there is no sectarianism in Aberdeen. It's a diverse place. It's a beautiful place. We are friendly. We are inclusive. And Catholic schools are also quite inclusive. I'm so sorry to interrupt there, Megan.
Well, let me ask what
really
Megan means
wrong.
by that. What do you mean by controlled by the Catholic Church?
Well, the Catholic Church essentially says what the curriculum is going to be. I mean, we saw an example of this in December when it lobbied very heavily on new guidance for relationships, sexual health and parenting education. It encouraged parents were encouraged to tell the Scottish government that it mustn't compromise on Catholic Church's teachings. And the Catholic Church's teachings on same-sex relationships are that it's sinful. So one has to question how inclusive Catholic schools are of children who are gay, parents who are gay. So there's that element there as well.
I would say, Megan, I'm so sorry again. I have to say this is completely wrong. Morality of the church, the belief system of the church, and, is completely separate from curriculum of excellence. We are supposed to follow the curriculum of excellence no matter what our personal beliefs are. So, we do follow the Catholic ethos and values, but we do follow the curriculum of excellence that's given by the Scottish government.
Elizabeth, let me focus on the practicalities of this. Is there the money for it? Because if you build a new secondary school, it's going to take pupils away from existing schools, which arguably isn't the most efficient way to spend money when councils are strapped for cash at the moment.
The council actually shelling out quite a lot of money. We are getting 27 million for the primary St. Peter's just now, and there is for this school estate, they are investing quite heavily for Northfield, Hazelhead Academy, and all the other schools that Aberdeen has. So it's a matter of funding, yes. If we could get more funding from the Scottish government or anybody else into Aberdeen City Council to actually go for secondary Catholic school, that we would be really grateful.
Okay.
Because I think it's a need, and the Scottish government is supposed to be inclusive and help Aberdeen City Council if they're actually failing to provide it just because of funding.
Do you think, Elizabeth, just one final question to you. Parents might want a Catholic education for their kids, but
Yes.
do the young people?
Yes, indeed. I have spoken to quite a lot of young people during my research into ethnic and religious minorities. And I have had quite heartrending conversations where children of faith goes into state school. There are polarizing views, and just because they wear a burqa or just because they have a cross and just because they say they're Catholic, they are mainly due to such outdated views where they think, they have. So that kind of has caused this uproar among the youngsters. They are not able to come forward with it. So, but they have asked for it themselves.
We will need to leave it there. Elizabeth Spencer and Megan Manson, who's head of campaigns at the National Secular Society and an Aberdeen City Council spokesperson, told us that following a debate about the possible provision of a Catholic secondary school in Aberdeen at the Education and Children's Services Committee in September, the matter has been referred to full council.
This morning's news headline.